What was going on with that was a fucking paper on a cutie. Maybe it's supposed to be a hotel. Yeah, we all, not big deal. We all, really when we use that for the team, it's on the travel. But then more, you know, I'm going to do it to me. And it could be around, this becomes a goal. Look, no on any team attack again. Ini team Acana, we are Acana, Acana, Rwot. It is a really not to carry one. Pero ay yung Rwot, beauty of Rwot, one and or the Lamukari, what Martin, Yai, Lamu. Really, and all. Look, my mom, if I look at my TV, I wouldn't know you. Big, look, cái wearing, nó có wearing. Dân đông, quan quý đồng bộ, nhưng mà come in, one of the come in, come out water, catch a water, put it in the egg, not the water, so we have a one of one. What careful, how the good to do it, do a death. Thì bây giờ được nên có thể tạo được cái chuyện rồi mấy kiểu cái này cũng chung này kia rồi sáng thủ cái trời thì nó hạt giáp đây là cái khi là lúc qua đây cái ruột con bia lắm rồi ghe ở bia lắm đây là bọn như là chất đúng chưa về nhà lại em khi bây giờ dùng mức ken này cho nó đi ní và phát đáp mức ken này và job đi nhá và nó vô John Pero Lugay và Julie the an what is the thing one people what is doing me or enjoy your chip I go the metal or take part to it the one constitution take part to it in một cái mà cái gì này nhà nó đi rồi được cái quả chuối cái gì office prime minister cái quả chuối Nero and Jim K. Chuli Wang, Tea Wang and Wang, you come at the tea, now can want to what, but it what, you get another time. In a part of when and you to work in the K. Chuli Wang. Dog Ben, what in a part of when and then you know how to take part to many down but we Jim can much one year TV take part in the Rwot and take part in the get you get my really get it quick. You know, carry the children at the quick. I tell you, we know, Jim, the wall. Dong ameti kok kwa kwan kilemo yo kan ma kwenye ni lakini yang ile kwa ya bi ni dale ni bot padam bot that's the ini apa di ikatan mungkin lain menyuruh ni ngom ini ngom parwa sana in Rwot, pakai kuarati, mau di pokoknya kita mau buat kita tong dami kali buat di pada boleh buat
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press. With a brief press statement, which I will read, and we will form the basis of our interaction with you this afternoon. So I am going to read this statement in English. It has been summarized by my colleague, Acholi Rwot. Press statement entitled Change in Leadership and Restructuring of K. Acholi. Number one, in a meeting of the Council of Rwot Acholi held on 20th June 2023, Rwot David Onen Acana II was removed as the Rwot Acholi, together with his deputy Rwot Martin Otinga Atuka Otowadai II. Number two, both Rwot Acana and his deputy Rwot Otinga have been in their respective positions since the inception of K. in the year 2000. Number three, reacting to scandalous conduct of Rwot David Onen Acana, to a plethora of issues related to integrity, failure to discharge his fiduciary responsibilities, and mismanagement of affairs at K. Acholi. This unprecedented and drastic action was taken in the best interests of K. Acholi and Acholi community as a whole. Number four, the election of the leadership of K. Acholi is entirely within the mandate of Rwot Acholi and is exercised very judiciously. Who or what is K. Acholi? K. Acholi is the umbrella body established in the late 1990s to bring all the Acholi traditional entities together, chiefdoms that is. This council of Rwot, known as K. Acholi, is headed by Rwot. He is known and recognized as the custodian of Acholi culture among national and international stakeholders. Acholi Traditional and Cultural Authority and the attendant chiefdom social order, which has been in existence from around the 16th century, has always been the foundation of governance of Acholi society. This fact in our times today has been recognized by the 1995 Constitution under Article 246, and this very article confers formal legitimacy to the institution. Where is customary authority derived from? Customary authority, normally in any social space, is very much shaped by everyday practices and events. And these practices include provision of public services and public goods. Coming to Acholi in particular, this legitimacy and public authority in recent times is derived from tradition and culture and the access by Rwot to their communities and the identity of Rwot to the grassroots. That's the authority from which they would derive their mandate. In the recent historical context of our society, Acholi society, these public goods were informed by the dynamics of events of the day, which was the LRA war, those resistance army war, civil war, that shook this country and its aftermath. The cultural leaders stepped forward in the aftermath of the war, and the public goods and services they provided included and still includes even today transitional justice, protection, of the environment, reintegrating, as it was at the time, those who were returning back home from war, and peace negotiations which led to the end of the war. And today they're engaged quite a lot in mediating land conflicts. However, in true tradition, the role of Rwot has been evolving, and today embraces development brokerage, and Rwot very much considered as development agents. But at the time of its inception, these were the very explicit aims of the organization, of the institution rather. A, maintain the tradition and the culture which enhances the dignity and the well-being of Acholi people. B, handling conflicts and disputes within the Acholi community and engaging in reconciliation as and when the need arises with other neighboring communities to foster harmony in accordance with the customs, norms, traditions prevailing which do not contravene the Constitution. C, promoting development and enrichment in the character of all Acholi community in particular, and by implication Uganda at large. Sadly, the leadership we're talking about, who are given this mandate, have not fulfilled these functions for which they were elected to office. Their term of office has been mired in a number of misdeeds, which includes some of the following. And I have here, for your benefit, highlighted 13 of them. This is by no means the entire catalog of what we consider misdeeds, which are both classified as commissions and omissions. Number one, failure by the leadership to produce the governance documents for Acholi, that is, failure to produce a constitution, despite several resolutions passed by the Council of Chiefs. The absence of a constitution made it easy for Rwot not to be accountable to the institution itself, not accountable to Rwot, and not accountable to Acholi community as required today by best management practices. The converse of this, lack of a constitution with a governance document, has led to nepotism and decisions, management decisions being made arbitrarily. So number one is about lack of the constitution. We don't have one. The institution has itself been responsible, number two that is, has been responsible for misappropriation of money provided in the form of grants, aids, and donations. The most significant of which was the Democratic Facility Fund provided around about the year 2013 and 2014. These were funds meant to carry out activities related to return from the IDP camps. This was the subject of a forensic audit the outcome of which led to the withdrawal of all development assistance from key stakeholders. To this day, number 3, in October last year, His Excellency the Head of State put forward 200 million shillings for activities to set up peace committees and continuation dialogues at the grassroots levels in the troubled Upper region, which is the home of Made and Acholi people. We all know the history of Upper. It remains a troubled area of our community to this day. 2 things to say about this. The fact of the provision of these funds for really a vital activity was not disclosed to these chiefs who are meant to be the ones spearheading this activity. Not only was this not disclosed, but there are no records that these activities were actually carried out so far. But we live in hope. One day, probably in the near future, this will be carried out. However, the people of Accra deserve more than this. They live with daily insecurity. And they greatly need intervention for this. Number 4. Our everybody has been presenting his position as quote, king of Acholi. This position doesn't exist in the hierarchy of Acholi. There is no history or culture of what? King in our setup. What does this mean? This misrepresentation. It demeans and assigns a lesser status to other Rwot. For the sake of giving an insight into the state of Rwot Acholi, We are independent and autonomous, and we are all of equal status. What we have done by the arrangement of Acholi is to elect a chairperson, a coordinating responsibility, and a spokesperson. Full stop. This is not a position where the holder of the office exercises executive function. But the impression given out there is that this is a boss. Not at all. "20 years ago, at the time of returning from the IDPs, as part of the reconstruction and development of northern Uganda from the ruins and the impact of the LRA war, Rwot actually were encouraged to lead their communities out of the IDP camps. And one of the tools used was that they should return, and a provision was made to build houses for chiefs so that the communities would follow them to where they came from originally. This program of building chiefs' houses fell under PRDP. It was a very welcome project. However, this process was grossly mismanaged in several ways. One, the design of the houses as originally conceived were changed. And what was provided was of lesser value and extremely poor workmanship. Today, if you visit these houses, they are in dilapidated states. Many of them pose serious health hazards just 10 years down the line. And quite a number of chiefs have abandoned these houses and prefer the attached structures. Number 8, there has been considerable breach of protocol and this goes to what I mentioned earlier. You, as a chief, we normally welcome chiefs in our areas, other chiefs, for various reasons. But you do it with their knowledge, particularly if you're not on a private visit, but on some issues related to affairs of the chief. This protocol has been violated blatantly and with impunity by liability. Number 9, we all value the little that is now left of our customary land. And we are doing everything possible to manage this resource for the benefits of the past, the present, and for posterity. This is the song almost every weekend on radio talk shows. Don't sell customary land. However, the leadership of Acholi has been caught as they engaged in grabbing and selling community land for private gain. We now come to what triggered and put us where we are today. This piece of land, known as Plot 5 and 5A Airfield Road, just a bare 200 meters from here. This was a donation to K. Paramount about a decade ago to form the asset base for the institution to be developed to generate income and provide working space for K-Quar's activities. This is what triggered the crisis we are in today. There was a brazen attempt by the person of the Rwot to sell this land, which he has been pronouncing as his personal property. Whereas it is not. And when news of this reached Rwot, a series of actions which he has just explained took place, culminating into where we are. Lastly, we are not sure, as our representative and spokesperson, that our Rwot advocates entitlements and benefits which are due to Rwot from various stakeholders. We are regarded as development partners. We work very closely at the grassroots level, particularly with area local governments, And we know that in carrying out these tasks together with these stakeholders, there are some provisions already. We don't know if these matters of the provisions have been advocated for. Now, therefore, I read, whereas the office of Acholi was created to promote and preserve Acholi heritage by providing good leadership to Acholi, whereas the position of Rwot is an elected position from among legitimate Acholi, whereas the person of Acana II has failed to discharge its fiduciary duties with integrity in serving the interests of Rwot Acholi, Acholi institution, and Acholi in general. Therefore, Rwot Acholi resolved in a meeting of the Council of Rwot on the 20th of June 2023 as follows. 1. The entire leadership and management of Acholi under Rwot David Acana II and his deputy, Rwot Martin Otinga Otoyai II, cease to hold offices or cease to carry out duties of their respective offices as the Rwot and Deputy Rwot with immediate effect. 2. Rwot David Acana should give an account and an inventory of assets of Kwaro that are accrued to this body. It should give this account within the period of 14 days. We have also resolved and put in place an interim leadership to be chaired by Rwot Richard Santo Apere Opacha, to run the affairs of Acholi together the Prime Minister's office. In the interim period, what they'll be doing is restructuring, developing, and presenting for approval a constitution for the first time for Acholi. Rwot Santo Apere will be deputized in this by Rwot Acana of Labongo Amida. He will also be assisted by Rwot Colin, together with myself, Rwot Lugai, Rwot Ojok Agina, in what we have constituted as an interim committee. This interim committee has 3 months to reorganize and restructure the organization that is Acholi In the event this work is not complete and the time is not sufficient, the period for them to undertake this task will be extended by a further 3 months. This is our press statement. And now I return back to you. Thank you.
Continue in English a little bit. Thank you very much, Just for listening to our presentation. We're now taking 5 questions.
Thank you, Chief Collins. You may answer in English if you may. The question is, what happens if the Paramount Chief fails to do? I'm also asking you whether you have read this press release that includes these out these actions. You are called for a meeting on Saturday. Are you aware of that meeting? Was it factual and will you attend that meeting?
I have read that press statement. Consulted ourselves as a committee on that. We come up with an answer at the appropriate time after reviewing the press statement. But I want to point out that we had on several occasions requested him to call for a meeting, Council of Chiefs meeting, and he failed. So it's ironic that now he calls for a meeting. Other derogatory languages that were used in the last few days, but that is not something that we want to engage in. If he refuses to vacate, we'll review our position from that time. We have 14 days that he was given, that the resolution gives. At that time, we'll review our position and decide on the appropriate course of action. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Jesse Johnson James. I work with Radio Rwot. The first question is, you rightly put it that there is no governing document, and a resolution has already been made by a section of chiefs in Acholi. Where do we derive the authenticity of the voice that you've collectively come out with? That's one. Two, how many chiefs are in affirmative of these resolutions to have the current Paramount chief out of office? Out of how many in total? Then the last one, where do we see all this, I could call it saga, or all this issue ending? Will we see something similar to the leadership, cultural leadership in Laos at Rwot, in case things don't go as planned? Thank you.
I'll start with the last part of the question. I cannot or we cannot comment on Lao issues because that's out of our area of concern. But the attendance of the chiefs that were there was sufficient quorum that could make the decision that we arrived there. The other part of the question, please, could you repeat that? There was one more.
About the constitution.
Yes.
You said there is no governing document, but a section of chiefs are holding the current Paramount chief. Where do you derive the complaint from? Is it in contravention of any kind of maybe a customary practice or a norm, something like that?
Well, as you have read in our press statement, The Council of Chiefs are the ones that first of all elected everybody. The chiefs have mandates from their chiefs. They were traditionally installed appropriately and carry the mandates of the communities that they represent. And that's why they are part of the Acholi consortium. Therefore, to question whether we have the mandate, it is a little bit late, or it's kind of irrelevant, because we have been there for generations and generations. It was disrupted during 1966 up to 1998, 1995.
Can I add something here? An institution of that significance in terms of best management practices must have guidelines on how it runs its affairs. To stop abuse, to stop arbitrary decisions being made, to stop being accountable to its stakeholders. This is what has led to the catalog of things we've talked about. Today, it's good management practice to have, at the minimum, set out procedures how decisions are made. Assemble comprehensively, this becomes a governance document, which we don't have. We have a duty of care to our stakeholders who support the activities. And this should be viewed through that structure of a governing document, holding us accountable.
That placement, I think it will also be of importance to make you know that on several occasions in meetings, the Council of Chiefs have resolved that the Constitution be made. Attempts were made in 2004. In 2016, again insisted that we needed a constitution to make the running of the institution easier. But this has not happened. And to me, I think that has been a deliberate move to manipulate and exploit the cultural institution. So we have been demanding for the constitution. We've been putting resolutions and putting the Paramount chief to task to ensure that the institution gets a governing document. To date, we have not seen. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Okumu Livingston Langol. I write for Black Stars and the Yen Yen online publication. My Lord Chief Gori, he talks about the corruption which I endured in the Kekal for long. And you mentioned that one of the triggers has been about this land and seats. Now, as the man, as the chief, Rwot Acana got the money, and if has got the money, how are you going to make sure that you take that money back?
Thank you. That land, as I've said before, belongs to Kenya. And these are the legal documents, or the documents that were the president gave, and communications between different branches of the government to move the land from being supervised and managed by the Uganda Lands Commission to Acholi, the Acholi Cultural Institution. And I'll give this to you so that you can go through and You can copy them and you can verify for yourself that we are not taking or we are bringing issues which are not valid. The sale of the land, we have written to him to stop it. We have written to the managing director of National Social Security Fund, NSSF, to not continue with the transaction because it is in violations. And additionally, there are other provisions that have been put to stop this possible sale. So I'll just leave it at that stage. Thank you.
Nya pe Wilfred okay below ko lewa chili for you to try duri pe yelu matter to try no titi ne you yom de to try ikin lok ma ber ka terne bot wani win ma be atikila penya chel ni kai na mod ko ber chawa ne kin koi ko lok ma pol ma ke ke kwara chuli ma chale wuri na Acana Maria na penya dong tiara komando tawa ngayu ka gwa kar kenu ke kwara chuli chiu ko ma kai nen gwa pa ko mo bi verifie chi consultation mo ron verifie bot community ma chala chuli community no ma chala wan ka chuli before mo ko tam ma cha ko ti mo me kwanyo ma ne ki kom ke tian lok mo wa ka kiru la pen ini kai wini lok ma la dit wa ni constitution mo no futie ma chale proper document no futaka donc pe wa ngayo ketano nene chana ke kwara churi tiu kwere ka ngato mo gwa ko pore bal donc eni ka nen pe duwa ko wa chen nyobu kelo ka pe ni ko eni ni weng ma un ti kelo gini pigi kan ge ma ko beri chani side ma megi gwara ngini giti ki lok ma pol ma ko ni ko kar ka ne ga ki kupe ko di gam un piu kan beno ti ki lok ma ko beri ti ga ya ne bot wa kan donc wa ben yang ni machalo wan kaka churi nyo duo community ni jeme eni weng ma wono keldi ti ada kido ngom wa ko ter irulo gi kare kom ko marama paaki wiye me kelne kama leng wa wan tela duo community wa bet ki ngediye ma tut before won moko tambe chako kwanyu ngat e woni ki kom nyo moko to me tiu gen manor wate foy
au ga mar gel do wa yiku pen yo wa ken jon li ci pen ngatu ken mo paatu wa
Kaya may gamo yun yung mo kaya na mayroon.
Gani ka ngore kenge ne penye
Okay, that question is on all. What am I taking la pen mukere? An ya known job no court at Hubert NBS TV. Particular pen Mario. Most of the cultural affairs is run by the Prime Minister, but in your presser, we did not hear him. Ladit Ambrosola names surfacing. Kakamo ikan. Does it mean that we really know Berkatimao or Biachar in the Kane or Ladit Prime Minister of the Dignity? Kidong Mario. When you have formed the new committees and the leaderships for the 3 months, as they continue to exercise that duty, where will they be sitting since out with the putting their women for done again?
You don't want the penye.
Awa ini niya keluar job run court Hubert NBS TV. Most of the cultural affairs is run by Prime Minister, but in your press we are meaning like it Ambrosola. Does it mean that we wrote about the transaction in Kenya? Kidong Mario, we have formed a committee and the new leaderships. Maumi it has to do within the 3 months, but we are wondering when am I going to be exercising all those duties since Kamana to handle cultural affairs has been blocked.
Yeah, avoid it all. gina amete nge ene wan waberu ke mok wala wo wami ukare ne chabiera rio ne umero en unon karo aago ke kal kamaruri gore yeme titi gipien tiche do tumo ko kenyu mawana iwajo kare me chabiera rio ni putpo tum putien ni ma che ka kare ni enu ni bitum che en pe waro mok palwa ma ene ruori ma ukero en yam kono ni wano bi bedo piny mene do ma ukore ma wadok kere lok ma kirme so kawa o kono siwa tiwi komlo mpod piny mukene ma ipenyo ma dogi kom bedo tie pa prime minister i office pa kwaro kidong bedo tie pa prime minister i lope eni kache guak tie amira dogi ye kirmani dano machalo prime minister tie latich eni ni ngad majoro eni dokti ene ye la wigore ene chime yo ene mogo tam chao kene ene nyota ni kitiketman kakama wan wa o yeni putpe wa no lokumo manyoro ni en chienti ye ento petian lokeni wa wai ni guak pe en no timo kino mo iwod wa eni bien wa mogo ni kikwet ko jami mogo ting mo bi no ni chienti gian makit meno ko piwa ni bibedo ping chi mogo won bedo no lo ni en bene lo no ma anafo yes
Apoyo ruriwa na kufanya kara ne lope kwa kanya matin anya yone waharasma akira tolo anya uyo tima kida si lampen na tamu kene tamu ni tebi kato waro como ata pera ta nyoro nyang tanano da miruri aro debi tanano cha na reo pero kawo teke mapat agwa kekere mo kene bena boto akato ruri kom ma obera human mo man ke ne torne con ruri la buji yana wara la buji yana leo nintara tapanya dong tiene well like anone la ruri no ke kwene nikatto ruri mo kene nan kita kan kimaro pange ngo mangono ko mini way warga ken ne momme pat tiki tam ne gore ka ngome ka ka ne gore wele go ko ko kita mo nyang ke ana mano ke no ko to bare ni ka kidong ma yo ngome no ko nyaro ka ne depende no ma jite ke to ko wini da wu ke to ka na pam isa so media come mangono kalo ke ko kawan ye makin goto batang ketikata keji tinggi na nem chalo apora don tie kan ta uno gutin mo mena na actually guri ta ripeti ke na yit na ngene timo ngai wa mo ma gutin
ya ko yang kira ini wali tadi cinti mungkin itu yang bagi juga ada wino mau berarti juga di social media nanti kalau part ini yang anda aware of mereka keturunan kom ke akhir gini di kerana mereka pengat mau wah ini di tempat itu buat mereka Kacin ngata wa ko bino no bino ka pero kaden me ka ngata ne ko yan wa ra ti di karoti apila ma ke ti mero kacin la wulu no ko no di beru pat kacin la wulu ko cho những người nó cái mới không khi em nó phải hoạt thì cũng cái quả mà chịu mà nghe này em thì nó nhiều độ mới đi cái quen luôn này đọc cùng bên một cái mà qua trên mà đọc mới quên ngon cái chart của National Social Security Fund cái là Hawaii Hawaii chơi Hawaii gặp bốn gì quên lên one for me with and to ngon chart của National Social Security dan ngon nghe nghe ada
Sorry,
Mega mungkin, kumera dukungan. Mega mungkin ni mai penye ma gitu. Iwaju ni luak mawatelo ki bumbeti ni gitu machin gitu. Maginero chalo pocket ye. Donc ko ni pegi binge yo dire bedu ni ni poge. Ana kamu ni umiaro wek luak unge ka kamaleng luak ma chori kaga chori bunge ni gin ni mawano temo ni mok parwodi ni ye me jingo kwa paluak me chori wek tera me te kwar ma ene ye guri madit ya chori ni ubed mu twin pe wati mo kitwin mo me yenyo poke dong lok wati bo luak ni luak geno bedo hot gumi kare kilo tela te kwaro metia polok metela ni en mawano e tia ho ni mono lok na mache lok mario bolwa ere ni mier gunge ni aloga metela timme eni ni pegin manyere powa ludirudini Kilogo tela bishop yan kiberu mwaka kona pa kona dini kilogo tela mukene biro politicians kilogo tela kini ni bin matime tika tin wano waju ni wanero ni tela petika wot mabe kaka moni che wa ni chungkong manok wek wa yup ot wa kirman eno ni premier lwa ko nen telo bal ti wa miyo tam ni lwa ma chulu beda chen umete ki ripe wanero bene ni Rwot David onena Acana peke kwanyo kero ne mo eken me bir la tela entie la tela puri ya chuli ento iteke bayera kitma ana a iteke la bon ikot ya mida kitma Rwot ini ai paga kitma Rwot chane ai bai chon en bi mete kitiu tiche enoni ento mete lu wi wan rodi chalo ngat makubu kin wan ke gamente kubu kin wan ke lwa ene wa wachini tichi enini oi bot ka kenyu don wan lego won lwa me waro en ma chalo Rwot pa ira me mete kin neno en chalo la tela me ke pa ira ana fo
ata wa dong wa gi ho ba koi wa ka ta men ngom me uno kwan kan you can photocopy and circulate
be wan fo
Afuera, ya. Poi la mia